everyone, I'm Sari and this is Natalie. We have a special guest today, and Natalie, she has a business called Sacred Cottage Creations. She is an artist, and Natalie's going to tell us what she creates.
Yeah, Sherry, I'm a mixed media artist. Right now, my specialized style is modern embroidery. And I take the embroidery and I use it in a painting technique. And I find all kinds of creative ways to add crystals into my artwork as well.
And you also make
I make,
candles too, right?
yeah, I make candles.
So, oh wow, that smells really good. What's this one?
Whispered wind.
Sage. Oh, they have names. Whispered wind. That smells pretty. Sage, eucalyptus, and mint. And then you brought, and they're in these nice little metal containers. Really nice. They're not really strong. They're not like, you know, how some things smell perfumey, like fake. They smell really nice.
And an important thing to point out is rather than it being a regular cotton wick, these ones are wooden wicks. So they actually crackle like a mini fireplace in a tin.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool experience. So if you haven't tried a wooden wick candle,
Yeah,
you totally have to.
really nice. And they smell beautiful. All right, so Natalie, I asked her to be here today because, as you know, we're doing our homemade Christmas series.
I mentioned I love to do embroidery. So I'm going to be making a little 4-inch ornament. And I'll just show you my quick template here. So it will be a little polar bear with some snowflakes.
You can put it up onto
I'll
this
slide it over
camera.
here too.
There.
So polar bear with some snowflakes, and he's going to have a little Labradorite foot and yellow Beryl for the
Okay,
star
for
bright.
people who don't know what Labradorite or whatever that other thing that you said is.
I brought notes because I knew this question was going to come up, and
Well, they're like crystals. You
they
sew
are.
crystals
I
or
glue.
attach them.
Yeah, I'll
to your
actually
work.
lay it right across on the sheet there so you can see where they're going to go. So Labradorite is in the feldspar family, and it is a flashy stone, and I hope that picks it up on the camera there.
So these are like minerals.
Yeah, they're gemstones.
Well, they're very pretty.
Yeah. So that's how it will kind of be fashioned on the finished piece.
Okay.
Yeah, so if anybody's curious, so the yellow Beryl...
They all mean something, right?
They all mean something,
They have
yeah.
a meaning.
So yellow Beryl is also known as yellow helidor. It is derived from 2 Greek words, the first one being helos of sun and doron of gift, meaning gift from the sun, which is kind of cool.
We are getting all philosophical here today.
Yeah.
We're learning Greek words.
And just to kind of say a couple of the metaphysical properties that go along with the yellow helidor, the yellow stone. Creativity, self-confidence, deepening your spiritual practice, manifesting financial abundance. And it's really great for those that are self-employed.
We all can use some abundance.
Labradorite is, like I said, it's in the feldspar family, so it has this natural flash to the stone. The flash can come in blue, green, yellow, orange, and the more rare colors would be purple and pink, which I do have some pieces of that at home. And the metaphysical properties that go with Labradorite is it's great for new beginnings, new projects, new habits, creativity, new moon magic, if you're into that kind of thing, and finding your own inner light. Just to kind of throw that in there. Yeah.
They have a lot of meanings.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So.
Yeah, I like to use my art as a way to teach people about crystals as well.
Yeah, because they have a lot of meaning and they have healing powers and stuff. So,
yeah,
they have energy.
They do. If anything, they have beautiful vibrational energy.
Well, we all can use some extra energy. I know I can.
Yeah, I'll actually lay it right across on the sheet there so you can see where they're going to go. So Labradorite is in the feldspar family, and it is a flashy stone, and I hope that picks it up on the camera there.
So these are like minerals.
Yeah, they're gemstones.
Oh, they're very pretty.
Yeah. So that's how it will kind of be fashioned on the finished piece.
Okay. Cute polar bear on some snowflake fabric.
Some snowflake fabric. I'll put it in front of this camera so we can see it closer. I transferred my image onto the fabric already, and thankfully Sari had a perfect.
So is this something you drew, or did you trace it or see it on something, or it's a combination of both?
Certainly, this particular image is actually one that I traced right quick, but it's actually a marble polar bear stone sculpture that I have as part of one of my sacred spaces at home. That was gifted to me by a friend a long time ago who bought it in Alaska. So I just kind of...
So do you cut that fabric off, or do you wait till later?
I'll trim the corners a little bit, but I mostly leave it loose because I'm going to use some of this fabric later to fold over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you don't just cut it raw to the edge? Okay.
No, because I find when I'm stitching, I'm going to need to, pull at the sides of my fabric because sometimes it gets a little loose.
Okay. All righty.
And I found this little 4-inch one is pretty good. I don't need to use a screwdriver or pliers to tighten it too much. Usually at the very end, when I'm finished a project, I'll tighten it nice and tight so no one thinks to...
I need a pair of scissors. I do not. I just have paper scissors here, and I know they won't cut anything. All right.
So while Sherry's doing that, I'm going to just trim off some of my edges here. I have found in the past if I don't trim them, and when I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, I kind of stitch it right through into the back because I catch the corners.
I'm hacking mine.
Oh, I'm not
to pieces.
Yeah.
There. Do you want these scissors?
I'm used to using these ones.
Oh my goodness.
I use them for absolutely everything. Actually, I was at a market in the summer, and there was this little guy there who was absolutely obsessed with these cute little scissors because they're colorful. And he kept asking me if he could keep them. I'm like, these are very important to my stitching practice.
Oh, yeah, you need your scissors.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
So once you got your hoop on there good, and you can see that I brought it down just a little bit here, trim the edges. So just to give Sherry and you guys a little heads up, what I'm going to do is take white, and I'm just going to stitch. I'll have to show you what stitch I'm using. It's just going to kind of be a hidden straight stitch to keep those edges down. And I'll also use a backing, like a back stitch for the detail here in the leg and around the ear.
All right.
All right. Now I like to use this to keep my shoulders in a good position, because you can imagine when you're stitching every day, all day, I get a lot of kinks in my neck.
I would imagine.
And a lot of strained muscles in the sides.
I think everyone will be able to relate to that.
This will also allow me to flip this around so you can see it on the camera better. And for anybody that does hand embroidery, these little lap stands are a blessing. It allows you to have both hands free and stitch a little faster. I'm not going to put it in too far because I don't want a shadow.
Oh wow, it fits right on there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can fit it all the way back and to support the tab part, but I'm not going to. I get too much shadow. Now normally I would sit this in my lap and adjust the height this way, but I don't need to do that. I'm just going to kind of be like that, and hopefully you guys can see. So I brought all the string that I need.
Embroidery floss.
Embroidery floss.
That's what you use, right?
It's what I use. My apologies.
Oh, no. Well,
Least amount of wrinkles in it. Yeah. So you don't. Doing French knots out of fun. Experiment. It's really fun to experiment with doing one string thread, two threads, how many times you loop it around your needle. It all changes the shape, size, and bulkiness of your French knot so that you can change the way it looks. These are the three DMC Blue Metallics. I'm going to use this one, the darker one right here, because I think it'll pop off the fabric a lot nicer and not fade into the background as much as these two. Metallics are my absolute favorite to work with, even though they can be challenging. Just a single strand of metallic, that way you can get the fine detail. And you can see how that dark really pops off that white. And then I'm just going to put some little French knots in there to put this snowflake together. And all I have to do after this is the French knot detail. I'd really love to know in the comments below, do you like the French knot? If you are a stitcher, some people love them, some people hate them. I did a piece this summer that I called my Summer Solstice Sun, and there was so many French knots I couldn't even count, but that's how I filled in the center of the sun, and I gotta say I love them. I've connected all these insides, and now I'm going to go in and do some French knot detailing. But I'm here too. Of course, I'll tie a knot up there. And there, your completed piece of work.